All right, hello everyone. Hello, hello. I think we're live. Which you and I hope that you can hear me. Love the thumbnail I made for YouTube. Oh, oops, I have a 90-second edit time. Let's dive for reason. All right. So my chat might be broken today. StreamerBot was having issues. Chat might be a bit broken. I suspect the StreamerBot down. I couldn't reach their website, so I think that means it's down. But is clowning playing arena? That's what clowning is. Now I'm finally gonna finish the audio mod I was working on today. It is way too complicated to edit one single file. It's actually crazy. Yeah. And let's see. I do see there's mic audio in OBS. I'm definitely going to need to adjust audio levels once I'm in the game, and I don't know how well the webcam and the mic are synced, but that's what we're going to discover today. All right, so let's make an announcement that we're live. Grab a link. Great. So no one is named that the audio is back yet, which is good. Big down capturing. I don't see an adjustment slider for okay. Slider for it. Be a slider for it. It's going crazy. It will computer. Let's see when we get into the game. Let's see if we have a draft. No draft yet. I can tell, but schedule for soon. Hello, everyone, back from the ad break. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? If there is anyone in the chat, if you hear the music, I would love to know that. I have to figure out how to adjust audio set OBS on another scene. Let me do that. See if I can do that right now. Oh yes, I can. I can. Let's give these a good 5 or so. Back to the other scene. I had to swap the scene. Weird. Oh, the source has changed. The audio mixer is like that. Okay. That's good to know. All right. So I think if everything works, then we're going to be great with audio settings. But that's a big if. Also, you can see my lovely XLR cable running here. It's less flexible than the USB cable. The mic still points at me. Yeah. There we go. Good enough. I gotta be close to the microphone. That's what I've learned from casting. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Is Twitch chat even working? Okay, it is. Gotta double check that. YouTube chat's probably working too. Hi there. It's not going to be on screen. But actually, wait, maybe I can go back to the... Wait, I deleted the old... wait. 11's here. Yes. I can stream elements chat on the screen. Yeah. We might not have chat today, which will be unfortunate. And hello, 11. Hello, Nwesi. How are you doing? And my big question is, does the microphone sync with the webcam for you guys? So turn my camera slightly to the side. There, that's better. Get a bit of door on the side. But I will be more centered. Centered is good. So how are you all doing in the chat? I see someone practicing a Road to Londinium draft already. I need to make maybe practice overlays for those. I also see deathmatch going on with Grizzle and Nope. That would be fun to cast. Deathmatch soon. And good morning, Kyrael. How you doing? Not synced for you, but sometimes it isn't anyway. Okay. In Ringlord 12, hello. It's like 0.3 to 0.5 seconds late. All right. And no one of consequence. Thank you very much for subbing, Prime. Thank you very much. Just that ever so slightly. Voice happen or mouth. Voice happen first. Okay. I wonder if my webcam... Did I add a delay on my webcam? That's a question. I look at it in yes. I don't have a filter. I don't think I did. So, go to my mic. Will there be a link that tracks it easily? Last time there was. I don't know if there will be this time. Okay, someone swap 0.3 to 0.5 into MS. Let's see. Let's put a delay of like 25 MS. Okay, does that sync it up at all? Is that better or is that worse if I talk? Does it seem any more or less synchronized? Because I can very easily add a delay to my voice. And hello, Quaz0122, how are you doing? Go on the ladder yourself and play the pros. Same, slightly too delayed, still too delayed, right? Oh, yeah, clap test. Or maybe by the mic. There's the clap before or after. Like I can delay it more. I really need to open up. Pretty good now. Okay, pretty good now. Perfect. 25 MS is hopefully perfect. And that's good, because we have a draft going on right now. We have a draft. Out of this. Good? Great. You guys ready? You think 26 is correct. I put it to 25. What tournament is this? This is the Clown Christmas tournament. And I haven't seen any of this before, but it's an arena tournament. It's a best of 5 on arena. And this is sad that I lined my overlay up before going live, and now it's not lined up. What the heck? OBS, what are you doing to me? This was nice and lined up. And what's going on? Hold on, everyone. What happened? I aligned this. Or I went live. What happened? What? OBS. Why are you not... What? Okay, transition that. Hold on. What is going on? That needs to go up. It needs to go like that. Go down slightly. Maybe it's a different draft than... Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. They used a different draft than the one I used to set up the overlay. That's what it is. It was a different draft link with fewer admin bans, because there are more civs now. Ah, they got it. Ah, okay, silly me, silly me. Okay, we're all good now. I think, yes. Gotta darken it so it looks okay. There we go. Alright, fix the overlay. We're good. Also, let me know, are there any... Does the mic sound as loud as normal? Are there any audio artifacts that you're hearing? Still hear the music? Hello, Sweezabolka. About 150 ms too early. That's a pretty big jump. It's a pretty big jump. A little experiment more. Still needs a little more delay. Alright, needs a little more delay. Can do that. I'll up it to 64. Let's go powers of 2. Swap back with the draft to the camera. Or not swap I wanted. Alright. And now you can give me again. Give me some more feedback. I added 64 ms of delay. Do another clap test. I'll need to sit down and record videos and do this afterwards. What is this game for? It is for the Clown Christmas Championships. It is an arena tournament played over the winter, and seems good. Alright. Not entirely convinced, but hopefully we're getting closer to what we get to. It's nice when the camera is in sync. It is incredibly difficult if I'm, say, video chatting with someone else and sharing my camera. Getting it in sync for me and for them. This is just some clowns playing arena. Clowns doing clown things. Let's see, you don't see the lobby up for it yet. Hera's playing. Cast some Hera. He's playing some serious games. Audio is very good though. Okay, you would add more delay still beyond the 64 ms. Go up to like 128. Trying to lower my latency as much as possible. I do have a couple of VST plugins in OBS, but I do kind of need a gate and whatnot. We'll do this one more time. We'll see if I overshot. Sure, at some point, if I keep going, I will overshoot. See if this gets it a bit more in sync. Very good now, okay. I'm saying it's very good. Yeah, it's also Twitch does its own tiny bit of delay on the audio processing too, so there's a chance it's out of sync between Twitch and YouTube, which would be a very difficult thing to correct. But hello, Poality11. Hello, welcome to the new year. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone. And also, StreamerBot seemed to be down earlier, so I might not have chat in game. Apologies if I don't have that. I might just have to do the overlay. I couldn't get it to start earlier, and then I couldn't access their website, so it looked like something was up. Does not look weird now. Be able to go one more. Okay. I'll go from 128 to then maybe to 150. Better to overshoot because brain is used to sound coming later than image, but very much not the other way around. That's true, that's true. Sound does travel rather slowly. Now that's what I learned when I was a distance runner, when I did the timing on the 200s. You'd start at the stopwatch on one end of the track. It was half a lap, and the runners, the sprinters, I never did sprinting myself, but the sprinters would be on the other side of the track, and everyone on the inside would have to lie on the ground or duck so that you could see the smoke that comes from the starting pistol, because you see it before you hear it. It's supposed to use the visual cue for starting the watch. Okay, hopefully we're more in sync. Let's get this draft going now. glad that you can hear me and hear the music. Does the audio sound balanced with the music? I can always turn myself up slightly. But here we are with the draft. Stopped your Latin lessons to watch this. You could go play some Fallout New Vegas. Learn Latin. Surely not. Okay, freaking Andy. Looks like they have started. They have started in the Clown Christmas Championships, and we will get this game going. Thank you all for the feedback. Oh my gosh, what are these colors? Can we do yellow versus orange? Are these watchable colors? Persians versus Jurchens? What the heck type of arena civs are these? I see Welcome to Rapture use the soft snow so that it's less bright and doesn't blind us as much. Are these colors okay, chat? Are these colors okay? And the chat is, for some reason, very much not working. I will attempt one more time to turn on Streamer Bot, but perhaps I just need to turn the chat window off. It wasn't opening for me. Might not open. Happy New Year and hello. Alright, yeah, the Streamer Bot's very not working. Gonna have to get rid of the chat, unfortunately. We'll bring that back when it is working. Right, so we'll have Bloodless here, Light Cav OP. Should I name him Bloodless? Should I name him Bloodless here? It's the Bloodless, having to rely on code written by others. Yeah, well, I really should just listen to Twitch events directly. And, oh, now the score is going to be too high. Hold on. Okay, chat, you have to remember the score offset is 218. There. The logo can float a bit, that's fine. That's true. Write your own code. Oh my gosh, look at this. We have Arctic hares that one of them is killed and not funneled. Although it looks like, wait. Did Bloodless attempt to funnel and completely fail at the funnel? You need a diagonal gate in the middle of the hares. What is this? This was an attempted funnel that didn't work. Bloodless, no. Oh my gosh. Bloodless. Well, I think Andy certainly is the favorite here, where Bloodless is more of a clown. He has a wonderful lumber camp slot. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And we'll have Andy, though, being the first one up. Persians, Jurchens. Persians will have a much better eco. Jurchens will have Fire Lancers. We all know how terrifying Fire Lancers can be. All this trying to funnel is like me trying to lure extra boars in Rage Forest and losing fills. Oh, well, I don't expect Bloodless to be able to funnel. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he needs a bit more blood. I do like how the Arctic hares blend in with the snow, but oddly enough, I actually try to avoid using the Arctic animals on snow maps because I think they're hard to see. That's going to have to be a mod one day, replace the Arctic hares with bright red hares that stand out. So a feudal on the way. I don't know what Persians do other than try to have a great eco on Arena. Unit composition wise, they still should be pretty weak in the late game, but I suppose they can go Halb. Can't even really go Halb Skirm with the lack of Bracer. Could go Halb Gunpowder and Cannoneer Bombard Cannon, but I fear that would simply lose to the Jurchens. Should be able to do that, but much more effectively. A larger hunt mod? Yes. Oh yeah, there have been huge animals before. I don't know if she covered the hares yet. She probably did. She's always amazing with the mods. I've managed to disable the XP system. Yes, I have, Guy World. I did manage to disable the XP system. I found the checkbox in the YouTube settings, so I can de-gamify the YouTube chat. And I'm happy with that. Bill will come over and start mining, yeah, gold. As the other Dills head over to the wood line, Andy selling stone, selling wood, and buying food. We'll have Castle Age on the way there for freaking Andy. So Andy on the way up. Market blacksmith, so... Well, actually, no, market stable. Market stable, so likely we'll go scouts. Jurchin scouts will, of course, attack faster, unless he wants to do some type of step lancer play. That could be interesting. We go siege tower grenadier. Jurchin late game is Venny. I feel like the Jurchins can do anything against the Persians on arena. Should be a good civ. Oh, I can see... I can look at the resource placements on a map and know what the map was based off of. This is a Trezini map. True and true, you have the resources basically on the straight lines through the TC, but slightly off. Yeah. So stable for both. Persians will have a great eco for this. Some extra food for the Jurchins from their hunt lasting longer and their herdables lasting longer. There are Arctic foxes out here, so Arctic hares, Arctic foxes. Are there no wolves on this map? Probably not. I remove wolves usually when I do arena. You don't want wolves fighting your monk rush. You can't not see the resource placement quirks of Trezini maps. Yep. Even the stones, too. Look at that right angle from the TC. The gold here. Gold really isn't there, but there's probably an invisible placeholder right here forcing it away. And avoiding stone forests and other places. I'll need to make a video on that technique sometimes, or sometime. Another TC over in the back. I wonder if the Red Bull Empire Wars maps will have the same issue that the 9 bill starts do, where the houses and whatnot block some of the resources due to find closest. But both players adding in from their stable some more scouts and adding in a second TC. Very similar build so far, 2 scouts. Well, they're slightly ahead in vills though due to that Persian eco. Persian eco is crazy good. And I still have no idea what unit composition you'll want to go for as the Persians. Third TC, maybe the Persian eco just simply is that good. 2 TCs on the main gold, so it won't be pushed too hard. Do another one on the stone. Also, he didn't delete the back walls in case he gets pushed and needs to run. He can head back there. Jurchin late game is very good. Very heavy on siege, so on arena, unlike Arabia, you definitely can get there. And I've seen them be crazy on Arabia too, the Iron Pagoda. This got buffed recently in a patch, and crazy. I've had pro players complaining that it's too good. Like buildings spawning on top of resources. I'm sure that's the type of thing easily noticed and prevented. The problem is the Red Bull maps are directly in the game, so I think it's actually quite difficult to make timely changes. And I know the past few weeks they've been on holiday, so I doubt you've made any updates or been able to push any updates, and I doubt they'll want to push a hotfix in the middle of the ladder, so I don't know what they'll do there. Also, no Hulks at least. We're not going to have to sit through the horror that was the Hulks for the hybrid maps they have. So, 2 TCs still for Andy. He is maybe fighting more for relics. Actually, more scouts for Bloodless. Bloodless just ahead in eco. Persians are crazy good with light cav even compared to the scouts taking the fight. Iron Pagodas are crazy good. Andy buying stone. Hello, Noob Netrum, how you doing? You hate these colors? I can change the colors if you want. No one complained at the start, and usually I like leaving player colors. It is Christmas themed. We could do red versus green, but then I'm sure that will cause horrible colorblind issues. Why he didn't delete his back walls? He just didn't feel like he needed them, or needed to delete them. If you don't want to place your TCs by the back walls, and you're not going to be setting up a or you're not going to be requiring space for farms, there really is no reason to delete them. And sometimes it can be nice to leave them there and save them for later. Bloodless will grab a relic and move it a full step, or not. I said he'll move it a few steps closer to his gate, but then he decided to do a ring around the rosy around that bush and brought it kind of almost back to where it started, down a couple tiles. Maybe it'll be a bit easier for this monk to go in. Or the monk bringing the relic back. Oh, that'll be 1, 2, and now a third relic for Bloodless. He should be able to get that. At least get it close enough to where then it'll be near the wall, and the next monk can keep scouts away and get it. And do you have any weak scouts? Looks like he healed up a bit. This is where he just wants to get it as close to the gate as possible and then drop it like that. And there he goes. He needs to be careful with this monk in case Andy loops around. All those footprints on the scouts. Andy has his third TC now. And down by 3 vills. No wheelbarrow for either player. Same eco upgrades, bowsaw, and horse collar. But our Persian player already 10k resources collected ahead. Andy, losing a scout finally, but then so does Bloodless. And he does get in that third relic. Now he can work on grabbing the 4th and potentially a 5th. Well, if you do get 4 relics, you are in a good spot on Arena. Never want to underestimate. Yeah, monks tend to yeet relics to the left, from what I've noticed. I'll need to experiment with that and compare it to AOC, but they tend to throw relics to the left. Unless tiles are blocked, then they can do magic things with relics and they teleport. I have a clip from that Zong map from TTL last year, where the relic teleported. And then we debugged that on stream and ended up more confused than when we started. Like he feels like he doesn't want light cav. And there he goes, he does it, but as greedy as he was doing it so late, does not have the relics. Now we'll have bloodlines for bloodless. That'll help him if the fight gets bloody. Ooh, and there he goes. Double conversion on that scout. Will he get it? Will he get it? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Now he can snipe off that monk if he sees it. He doesn't see it yet, but he will at least win the foot race to the relic. Then probably see the monk and snipe it off with that light cav. Another light cav here running around. He grabs the relic and should kill the monk. Down it goes. This light cav trying to get the monk. This light cav now wants to hit and block and not let it get to the monk. Oh, the monk yeeted to the right that time. But looks more and more like I'm going to get 4 relics from Bloodless. We'll have a 4th TC for Andy. Already getting his farms ready after the TC. Yeah, I'll remember the treb shot bug. I'll remember that one. That was quite the interesting bug. My typo went unnoticed for too long. There wants a conversion, and the light cav will run away. Monk, if Andy's on point with his monk micro, should be able to maintain the conversion because the scouts kept chasing and now the monks kept walking, so that should be a conversion for Andy. Yeah, there he goes. Got the insta because he maintained the conversion. Now the light cav will try to snipe another monk, and they do. They can snipe one more monk. But now Andy has enough light cav out, he can probably stop Bloodless from getting the last relic. Bloodless, he wants to run away and heal. He'll need monks inside of his walls now. And, ooh, I don't know if running out to grab the relic would be the decision. Yeah, he's going to stay inside. And he'll try to use a conversion. Might have tried to heal a bit before the conversion. He'll lose 2 light cav there. Oh, gosh, he'll lose all the light cav. He wasn't fighting. Ooh, he's going to run in. Gets a conversion, at least. Gets a conversion, but now does not have access to that relic. And he wants to keep the light cav alive and hoovering so they can snipe off monks. And say, if I can't get the relic, no one can. But he's up to Imp. Imp and Loom on the way. Andy going forward with some outposts in the house. Feels like Andy maybe has the initiative with map control now, but Bloodless will be up to Imp much faster. I know has made spears. At this point, spears are pretty slow and get converted more easily than scouts, so they're actually kind of tricky to use. And when you only have 1 or 2 spears, scouts are nimble enough they can dodge them and still hit monks. So it's always a tricky question of whether to add spears or not, going light cav to fight for relics. And they do, as cheap as they are, they do also slow down your boon. Looks like Bloodless aiming for that 4th relic. Andy hasn't gone to grab this one yet. Looks like he's just going now. I think he should be able to get it. He'll be a minute slower to imp and still down by almost 3k resources collected. Castle going up. Oh, and also, how is the volume level, everyone? The like game versus music versus voice. How's that doing? Is anything too quiet or too loud? I did just readjust that all. Good for you, good for you, great. Relics teleport when they're on a transport and it syncs. Yes, volume good, perfect. So I spent my holidays installing Windows 11, getting an audio interface set up and adding an XLR cable for my mic, and making some various settings changes. There's Bloodless up to the Imperial age. Gat's still hoovering a bit. Is everyone soundtrack on cue between the games? Ooh, okay, Vils getting hit by scouts. Getting hit by scouts. Down they go. A couple Vils going down. Is this a doubt castle? 69%. And still 4 Vils remain. But already the trebs are popping. We all know what happens when the trebs are popping. Castles are dropping. And ooh, Ward Light Cav getting in. Even if they don't win, they will slow down the castle a bit. And the urchins will themselves have trebs. They're not attraction treb civ. Conscription for Bloodless. I wonder if we can go for a camel or two, just to fight the Light Cav a bit. Mostly Light Cav he's dealing with. I'll need another bit of wall. Maybe he will. The castle does defend this at least. Losing some vills to castle fire. Still up by 10 vills and great eco lead still. It was perfect. All right, nice. Red going for the castle. Bombard cannon here would be a game changer. Whoever gets bombard cannon out will be in a good spot, and both of them finishing chemistry at the same time. Bombard cannon now for Andy look really nice because once this castle goes down, the cannon will be able to snipe off the trebs. And there's still a second castle in the rear. I don't know if those trebs can be reached from inside the walls, but if this castle goes down, then there'll be no reason for Andy to keep the trebs that far forward. I like the Persian castle. It is a good one. It's a good one, definitely. I like the Jurchen castle too. This is a good one. But like maybe it could be slightly larger. Portions might be a tiny bit off, but overall it is a good castle. And here come the Savars. Here come the Savars. And down it goes. Down goes the castle. And with the castle down, now maybe the Savars can rush the trebs. Like Goob. I don't know if there's any YouTube errors. Looks like I'm getting a bit rate issue there. Cannon taking out some of the trebs. Trebs go down. Cannon dodges. And there is the GG from Andy as Bloodless does it, takes it 1-0. Bloodless does it, takes it 1-0. It's a 31 to 26 KD. Much better eco, and that's how the Persians do it with the economy. So I was maybe questioning the Persians at the start, but that eco is just too good even for arena. Change my hotkeys. I have different scene switching keys. Here we go. Let me know how the YouTube stream is going if there was any brief stutter there. Looks like I was having a brief bitrate issue, but maybe it's stabilized. I'm not having an issue on Twitch, but let me know if YouTube if everything's okay. Red bricks don't fit in with their architecture. That's the problem I have with lots of castles. They just don't fit with the architecture. And okay, let me just, can you all still hear the music and everything? You can, that's perfect. So that's a win, nope, not for Andy, for Bloodless. Opposite sides of the map's scoreboard. And on the draft, that will be a win for the Persians and a loss for the Churchians. Yep, perfect. Point where Persians are a good arena save at the highest level, maybe they might be a little too strong. I don't know about that. I don't really have a good feel for their strength. The current eco. Oh, and the previous game. That. This draft looks weird to me. The Bohemian's such a late pick, says Chester. Oh gosh, I didn't just crash. Oh no. I thought I crashed OBS. It was just a Windows 11 thing as I tried to move it to look at the draft better. Had a heart attack there. And wait a minute. Wait just a minute. This is a weird draft because this isn't the right draft. Hold on. I know why it's a weird draft, because it's not the right draft. Oh my gosh. I don't want to join the lobby. I want to grab the draft. Oh my gosh, that's... what the heck? Wait, what the... Wait a minute. Something's weird. Wait. What is OBS doing? Oh, I know why. Oh my gosh, I was a silly goose. I accidentally had my King of the Desert overlay on instead of my arena. Okay. Those of you who were here at the start of the stream, I was confused. I was like, I set the draft up perfectly before we started. Why is it not in the right location? It's because I had the wrong draft up. There we go. Thank you, Winged Chester, for pointing that out to me. Now our saves are good. Yeah, that was the KOGD Finals draft. Thank you. You see the Burmese at the end. Now the early Bohemians are in their proper position. Alright, now we're getting to the next game. Double Chinese first pick on arena. That'll be the day. Great. So back into game number 2. We shall have Bloodless as the yellow Dravidians to the northwest, and Andy as the orange way to the southeast. The deer being pushed. Missing string 396,914. The string's missing. Better go find it. For the what? Capture read. What are you doing? It's a deer. Is there some special mod I'm supposed to be using that changes these to like Rudolph or something? Wait. Let me check in game for a second. Oh, it's supposed to be called Rudolph of Burgundy. Okay. In game, the deer is called Rudolph of Burgundy. So it's capture age gives us missing string 396,914. Wait, I can go to my in-game scene. I didn't set my audio up on my in-game scene, but I'll just do it real quick. They'll say Rudolph of Burgundy. Alright, there we go. I did not set my audio up everywhere. Great. So Rudolph, the purple-colored Burgundian. The house going up. I think with Fire Lancers, Chinese might be a good arena pick these days. Maybe it's the same thing with Persians, where they have such a good eco, they're still playable. It's Fire Lancer, and also they have heavy rocket cart. So some of their late game weaknesses they have to archers are covered up a bit by the heavy rocket cart. Still, they're rather weak to bombard cannon. But I think some of their buffs definitely make them better than they have been in the past. Considering the Capture Age team works so closely with Dev, I'm surprised they happen. And they have difficulties with modded strings. Still surprised at a lot of the Capture Age bugs, but they're... I doubt that they are properly funded, to say the least. Look at that line of stone. Lovely arena when we don't have the stone all bunched up. So, houses forward for Andy as the way, getting ready to make an anti-trush wall. Snipe the bombard cannon with Fire Lancer Siege Tower. That's true. Dravidians could go Longsword Siege Tower, though. Does that counter Fire Lancer Siege Tower? And again, another lovely lumber camp nook for Bloodless over in the corner. Another lumber camp on the front. Bill will head back to the gold. He'll start collecting gold on his way up. See what their up timings will be. I didn't notice at the start, but I think this is a 3-vil arena, not a 9-vil start. Bill chopping the tree over here. Another Bill going to your house. And scouts attacking each other in the north. There they go. How's my 2026 been so far? Well, it's been good that I woke up and saw that there was a clown tournament to cast today. And what could be a better start to the year than a clown tournament? I don't think there could be one. Snowed in, getting ready for the Red Bull. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Oh my gosh. What is this? What is that gold doing adjacent to the berries? That's not supposed to happen. There's Rapture. We talked about the Drazini resource placement before. I guess this is a bug that could happen, but it's not supposed to. Alright, that gets my year started already seeing bugged maps. As long as it's not my map, it's fun to see. If we get to TTL and the maps are bugged, I have to fix them. There is a barracks up here for Andy. Expect the Fire Lancers just shoot all the longswords to death. Well, that's the thing, I think longswords are supposed to counter Fire Lancers, but maybe not with the in and out garrison of the siege tower. When the Fire Lancers are charging their charge attack. So stable going up again for Andy. Bill's on the berries still. Another Bill heading out to the gold mine. A Bill's adding in a market. And Feudal Age on the way here for Bloodless. Bloodless just about up, and we'll see what buildings he decides to plop down on 27 pop. Will be a slower build and will indeed be market stable. Dravidians with a lot of wood, but not pushing the build all that quickly, doing a 27+2. This is about as slow as you see for the stable. Andy doing a 25+2, which is about as fast as you see for the stable. I feel like 26 is probably the standard. The experts in the chat can offer their opinions on that. The house for Andy is he's making a semicircle of walls at the front. Neither of these civs at all. A monk civ, no redemption. No heresy for either. So it does feel more like a light cav game. Nowadays, it has a bug to spawn one more pile of gold inside a player's base. Really? That used to happen on old Arena. You'd have golds back here. All the way back here. Actually, with require placement, if I spawn on the central lane or require path, spawn on the central land, I should be able to prevent that now. Now I got my mind thinking. I got my mind thinking of how to edit Arena in the future. I'll have to do a new Rage Arena soon. I'll need to very... Ooh, how about Rage Arena with circle walls? How would you like that, chat? Rage Arena with circle walls. That would be pretty cool. Might need to update my algorithm to take less code, but that sounds like fun. Is Andy up to the castle age? Circular. Well, the ponds already were roughly circular. I suppose I could make square ponds. They were circular so far. So Andy buying wood to do his TC. Not having that Dravidian's wood eco, also doing bowsaw. Bloodless up and having wood right away for that monastery. And bowsaw himself, and his second TC. That won't be too far behind Andy. We'll be up slower but with a better eco, so might be able to pump the scouts or put more vills on the TCs. Should have one infinite tile of gold. I suppose that's possible. We could give a huge amount of gold. Oh my gosh, imagine if these scouts got walled in and trapped there. We could also have a gold respawn when depleted. Like the wall segments that look like walls. I mean these, not the ones where they bunch up and have multiple corner bits together. All the wall segments look like towers. Well, we'll see Circle Arena. I think people are really gonna like Coast Arena with the circle walls and TTL. Sorry. So once again, a monk war with a boom behind it. Bloodless getting his next TC up a bit faster than is Andy, but Andy with a good Vil lead already from having been playing as the way, and he's been doing his eco upgrades, even the early wheelbarrow, to be able to get the extra Vil from it. Wheelbarrow extra valuable because it's wheelbarrow plus one villager. So you recuperate a third of that 3 Vils worth of work time from the TC and get a free Vil. I have nightmares of that Fire Lancer Huskarl game here. That's true, I do have that, there was that Cartographer's Finals, that 2v2. Fire Lancers countered Huskarls. A bit of a T90 farm there, we'll look away. And the first relic, well that's what we'll look at, Bloodless bringing in his first relic. We'll have the third TC here going up for Andy. And some bills out over to the stones, some bills coming over to the gold. And a monastery going up for Andy on the side too. Why did Andy only delete some of his back wall? To fit the lumber camp here. He just needed enough room to do the lumber camp, why not delete the whole thing? He probably didn't want to double click and shift delete and risk deleting some of the front one. So he probably deleted just as much as he needed. Maybe this could be deleted to give more TC space, but again, if he ever does want... Ooh, snow leopard. If he ever does get pushed and wants to head to the back, maybe having the wall could be protective for him. And relic coming in. This will be the second relic for Bloodless, but it'll have to wait as the monk gets killed and yeets it to the side. Need some more monks. Now there's one relic down here Bloodless is going for the forward relic, being extra greedy to grab it before Andy does. Andy will have some scouts coming after the monk. We will get a few footsteps of relic positioning towards Bloodless's own base, or not. He's gonna try to run behind the offensive line, but the quarterback will be sacked regardless. And will the scouts run in? No, they won't. It can be dangerous to run scouts on the inside, then you can snipe monks from the inside. but he will stay on the outside for now. I seen the message in the Discord about the payment info. Yes, I have. A message Heavenly Course later today. I saw it when I was waking up in the morning, so I'll send him a later. Unless there was another message here mentioning. Scout hits the light cab, gets a couple of hits in, and will be surrounded and killed. Poor Scout. More eco upgrades for Andy for more vills. And 6 vill lead. And now he's on 4 TCs. And we're seeing the opposite of last game. Big eco lead for Andy. Send the passport ID? That's a good question. I don't know what is typical for someone from a Chinese bank making a foreign payment. So I don't actually know. I know I don't need that info when I collect payments. But presumably Microsoft makes the payment to the tournament organizer, who in this case I believe is Yo, and then he needs to make the payments. And I certainly am not an expert on Chinese banking practices. For Deduzu and also recently Yo, I've been able to use Wise to make the transfers, which has been really easy on my end. And I hope easy for them to get the money out of the account after the transfer is completed, but yeah, don't actually know. So one could bring the relic in. Healing the light cav. They're all healed up. Ooh, spin move, but can't escape. Cannot escape. Sanctity on the way for Andy for more HP on his monks. And so far, 14 villagers of a lead. That eco letting him afford the 4th TC has been crazy good. Bloom, Wheelbarrow, and Imp for Bloodless. And he's adding in ranges. And, well, maybe he can go Elephant Archers. How do the way skirms stack up? Thumb Ring, Blacksmith upgrades, Elite Skirm. They will have fully upgraded skirms. Well, I guess that dies to Dravidian Skirm. Castle going up. Usually tournament hosts are required to offer PayPal as an option, but then I don't know if PayPal actually is available in China, so it's a good question. So Shinbei Raiders coming forward for Andy. Also get some Tiger Cav. And I feel that he has a really good lead over Bloodless. 2-2 relics, there's one still out in the middle to the north there, maybe slightly closer to Bloodless. His castle will not be in a position where he can treb Andy's. Andy doing his castle far enough in the rear that he won't be trebbed from behind the safety of the walls like last game. I just feel like the Three Kingdoms saves are a little underwhelming late game. I don't really have that impression about the way, to be honest. I feel like Traction Trebs plus Shinbei Raiders plus Tiger Cav are a really strong combo. And then they, of course, have Halbs that they can add in. There's some pretty decent upgrades, only missing the last armor. And the Mingguang armor is pretty nice. And great at sniping off Trebs. So Bloodless is going to hope that his siege, or not siege elephants, his elephant archers will be able to carry the game for him. Adding in a second range now. Not that many ranges. Guess they are expensive early on. He has a huge vill deficit. Down by about 25 vills. And about 3,500 resources collected, so it will be difficult for him to get enough elephants out to counter Andy's economy. Shinbei Raiders. Ooh, okay, neither player patrolling right there. Stand ground patrol your units, people. They're running around the map. Don't just let them pass like ships in the night. They're right next to each other. Be a nice one for Andy if the way can hold up late game. I think this is good for him. The difficult thing for the traction trebs still is pushing buildings. They're much better against units than they are against buildings. Oh, Bloodless, don't lose the monks. Oh, the poor monks. Andy almost got him with the light cav. That could be annoying. Maybe Bloodless could quick wall behind it, but definitely don't want them moving out throughout your base. If they got into the back gold, that could have been tricky without a TC there. But more and more elephant archers. Maybe the question is, how do the way fight the elephant archers? Monk and Skirm could be the answer. Maybe Traction Treb even could be the answer. It's elephant archers. They do. How much damage is that? Let's see, 50 damage. Maybe not enough against the elephant archers, even 280 HP, and they're elite now. They'll heal too if they get. What's it called? Yeah. Medical core? Yeah, medical core. There go the conversions in the first traction trip shot. Some skirms added in too. Okay, score difference. Block printing on the way for those monks. Remember, the way do not have good monks, but at least they have block printing. Yeah, they get Sanctity, Fervor, and block printing, so all they need to fight the elephant archers. And Theocracy. Happy New Year, this is live. When in doubt, Traction Treb is always indeed the answer. I agree. Added archer armor on the way for Andy. Fractions, they have some splash. Great. Maybe not. No blast radius. Also, this is why I'd moved my overlay around. Now the chat will not be blocking the capture age stats when I try to show them. Moved it all around. What is this wall? This is Andy trying to cut the map apart. Not let Bloodless get any raids on the eco he has down here, trying to keep that TC safe. Devotion on the way. Dravidians, what do they have? Devotion, they have faith, no heresy. Herbal medicine can even be used for elephant archers. He's healing them up right there. Monks want those conversions. Traction Trebs are usually pretty good at sniping off Trebs, as long as they dodge properly, but okay, Trebs getting a snipe there. Oh, yeah, no one reminded me. I need to turn on my capture age cursor. Where is that at? Hold on. In casting, you haven't even seen the cursor. There we are. Now you can see the cursor properly. It was up in the top corner of the screen, hiding there. I always find it amazing how no one reminds me of that. And no one notices I'm casting without a cursor. Should Twitch chat be in the picture? It should be death counter, but unfortunately StreamerBot seems to be down, and I wasn't able to connect through it today. And then I went to their website, and their website was down. So I'm guessing it's not going to have the chat today. Why is there an annoying cursor on the screen now? No. So Andy continuing to add in castles. He's going to have a wonderful line of 4 castles and an incomplete wall. There's Siege Elephant and Ring Archer armor. And Bloodless, he's not that far behind in score. He's down by over 10,000 resources, but now he's going to have Elephant Archers. And the question for Andy is, can he effectively fight the Elephant Archers? Monks seem to be his best option. He's going Monk, Skirm, Treb, and I don't know what else he would do against them. Now, let's see, remember, the Mingguang armor is melee armor, not pierce armor. And this is a big mass of Elephant Archers for Bloodless. Maybe Andy waited too long to push. It does still have an over 1k score lead. And if you're on YouTube, let me know if that's okay too. YouTube's giving me an error message. As the cav come forward, we'll have a Shinbei Raider here for Andy. Monk's getting a couple of conversions. I'm missing the flags? As the Elephant Archers push in, Bloodless will lose a castle. You're right, I should do the flags. Will we get conversions? There aren't enough monks here for conversions. Bloodless might do this. He's closing the score a bit. Is this a doubt castle? If Bloodless targets the vills are bunched up on each other. They're not finishing the castle. Only one vill is building the castle. Okay, it does go up. It does go up. 13 traction trebs, 10 traction trebs though. They are going down after a while. Any lags on YouTube? Okay. Audio's okay. Twitch is fine. Might be an issue. Yeah. Maybe we can lower the bitrate. Lower the bitrate a bit on YouTube then. See if that helps. Yeah, I restarted on YouTube. Let me know if it stabilizes a bit now. Everyone panic. We should be good now. Hopefully. Maybe not. They lose momentum late game. Especially against Dravidians. Dravidians are a civ that tends to pick up momentum. And right now, Andy has not had an answer to the Elephant Archers. I guess that was right from the start what my question was going to be. How does he deal with Elephant Archers? And unlike last game, where the Persians had a big enough eco advantage that they won, the Wei didn't quite have that advantage. We saw Andy, he still is up by 14,000 resources, but not quite enough. Much better? We'll see. We'll see if that holds up. It might. No? Okay. Unfortunately, it seems to be an ISP issue that I have sometimes, and I don't know if it's actually on my end. Skirm's not being effective enough. Get on the phone with my ISP again. Elephant's going down. Can't replace him without gold. That's true. And now you get to the point where maybe Andy, if he can outlast this long enough, can hold on. As it will be much harder for the Dravidians to do a trash unit. They can do light cav that ignore armor, but that's about it. The other question is, what do Dravidian skirms do? It won't be that effective against the traction trebs. Dravidian skirms could come out. Andy wins. You think Andy wins? He needs light cav ignoring armor. That might help in picking off the trebs. And he has the eco to swap to light cav with the Elephant Archers out. Still, I don't know how effective Dravidian light cav will be. Well, the elephants are going down to the traction trip. They're doing damage after a while. And Bloodless is losing the elephants, and it will be something that will be difficult for him to replace. As chat said, not much gold left. Need audio description? Oh no. Poor ISP not routing to YouTube. I'll download the OBS logs and get on the phone with my ISP afterwards. This is such a weird issue because it doesn't look like anything on my end. I'm streaming perfectly to Twitch, but Optimum is not sending the stream properly to OBS. I mean to YouTube. Also, someone mentioned the flags. Let's get the flags up. Bloodless is from the United States, and is from Austria. There we go. Look how many skirms are being made. Well, now here comes the question, though. If it becomes a skirm war, Dravidian should win that, right? He is going to go for the light cav. He has all the skirm upgrades now. Easy to swap to skirms from Elephant Archers. But he's losing his castles now, and no more castles means no more trebs. And no more trebs means Andy has all the map control forever. Scorpions could also be good. Could be. Dravidian champion? I think those would die to the Shinbei Raiders. At least if he goes skirms, he still has a unit that can fight this. And Bloodless will call the GG. Maybe Bloodless needed the skirms added in earlier. But Skirm still died to the traction trebs. He did such a great job of pushing, but overall at the end, Eco mattered enough for Andy that he could withstand the elephants and hold on. GG. Interesting. I have 0 dropped frames in OBS. It does look like it's starting to lag somehow on Twitch too. What the heck? Let me know if it's still lagging on Twitch. Like my internet got a bit choppy there. That's weird. OBS told me I didn't drop any frames. Sure, blame it on your ISP. I will blame it on my ISP. It's spreading. That was a weird one. Sure, Bloodless won't mind using his last pick. I know, my ISP will blame me. That's why I have the OBS logs. Well, interesting. I had missed frames due to rendering lag when I swapped scenes. That's a curious thing. Let's see if that continues if we get in. That shouldn't happen. Here we go. Next game. Let's see. Tell me if it lags when we swap. And thank you, Llama Toast, for the sub. Thank you very much. I missed the alerts. It's because I overlay set up to get the alerts. My capture agent was black for a second. Sorry about that. Let's see. Is YouTube stable now? 2 minutes of terrible ads. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hopefully YouTube's stable now. Let's see if I can update the rate again. So we'll keep an eye on everything. There's a dock to dock property. Yes. Alright. So game number 3 tied up 1-1. We will have Freakin' Andy as the orange Bohemians to the southwest and Bloodless as the yellow Hindustanis to the northeast. Deer! Yes, Rudolph, the missing string deer. To be pushed in towards the TC. And Bloodless going for a nice lumber camp right now. We're running clear at 1080p. Hopefully we're running clear at 4K on YouTube. One day that's the dream, having stable internet. Any prize pool for the clown shenanigans? That is a good question. Let me do some alt tabbing and check around. Check. There a prize pool? I'd assume there is. Let's see what it is. Prize pool of 70 USD, 30 to first place, 20 to second place, $10 for third and fourth, and nothing for anyone below that. So these two players are playing for a difference of $10. They both get at least 20. Winner gets that, oh, so beautiful 30. My internet seems to be particularly bad this time of year with all the snow we've been getting. I hope it's going to hold up on January 12th when I have the front page stream. So, fingers crossed for that. Hey, don't spend the prize pool all in one place. Internationally, players from different countries, $30 is a very different value depending on where you live, but American and an Austrian, I can maybe buy a coffee with that. Happening on January 12th, I'm going to be... So Twitch has this thing where you can sign up for front page slots. So I have an 8-hour slot where Twitch promotes the stream by putting it on the front page when you log onto Twitch. And you have a bunch of streams on the carousel at the front. So we're going to be there and most likely casting the Red Bull ladder. I am on the East Coast. Yes, you hear in Ontario the snow is absolutely crazy. I am quite a bit south of Ontario. But I have been getting some pretty crazy snow, and it is very snowy today. And usually December is the mild month. When we get to January and February, that's when the snow picks up more. Hello, owl? Oh yeah, the owl. That's a new bird. Looks very much like the hawk. If someone used the same hawk graphic and renamed it to owl, I would not notice the difference. This is like a boar and a javelina. Now, speaking of boar, here comes Bloodless with his lore. And Hindustani's Bohemians, oh, Bloodless turns and fights the boar, needs to make it back to the TC. What is that? He needs to garrison. Bloodless, no! Oh, maybe Bloodless's internet's lagging too. Lost a Vil to the boar on Arena. That looked like the old bug where the Vil would turn and fight the boar. That was a bug sometimes. The Vil, you'd run back to the TC, happened usually if you misclicked on a straggler tree. The Vil would turn around and fight the boar and wouldn't run away. 3 inches of snow in Madison. I feel when I was in Madison, I didn't get much snow. It was just pure cold. Here in Jersey, it definitely still is cold, but we get more snow, more precipitation. So, Feudal Age first for Andy. Bohemians, I think, would be the much better save than the Hindustanis. Hindustanis can go for a pretty aggressive monk and elephant push. Kind of similar to the Gajurs. But other than that, I definitely would prefer Bohemians. Alb, Handcannoneer, Halfnitze. Chautauqua Handcannoneers might even be better, but not backed up by the Halfnitze. Is this a recording of your gameplay? No. This is Bloodless. This is Blood. This is where you can rest assured that even the good players still lose their Vils to boar. It's 2K3, and that happened. Another reason why I wish they never changed the TC boar interaction. I think it's too easy. I think they removed a lot of the fun. Having the TC shoot the boar for free every time. But at least we still have... I don't even know what that was. The Vil was well under the TC and could have garrisoned there. Well, this not paying attention. Maybe... Yeah, it wasn't even a scout war. Both full HP. Anyway, Andy's up first. Well, this has to be careful that Andy doesn't find him. The Feudal Age scout is faster and stronger. Last winter there was no snow. This winter we've had a total of 1 foot already. Losing your board to TC lag was horrendous. Well, don't shoot with the TC then. Don't shoot with the TC. It's your own fault for being greedy. Shoot with the Vils. He's going over to the straggler. Scout will go. Now scout the back for Bloodless as he's waiting to go up to Feudal. Military attack animation changes. It is awkward for some units. I think for scouts and Vils, there's too much idle time in between. The spears, at least, they have that animation in between when they hunker down. But yeah, it is still a bit jarring how discontinuous some of the animations are. User error, exactly. I like the Bohemians design as a civ. Remember when the Bohemians had the cheap monasteries? Gunpowder showdown and half Nitsa wins. If it goes late, I think. Taking a break to swing your sword. That is true. The gameplay interaction of knowing exactly when units are attacking or not attacking is nice. But if you're simply zooming out and watching a video and looking at attack animations, it does look a bit slower and maybe a bit jarring to see that now. And here comes a spear. Speaking of spears, pokes down the scout. And Andy will be forward with his Vils, looking to be aggressive this time. And yes, we got a monk rush. We have a monk rush, adding in not one, but 2 monasteries, forward with spears to defend against the scouts that Bloodless is making. And even a couple of foxes he can take for a bit of gold for the monk rush. Alright, let's go. This is the clown gameplay we're here to see. Bloodless up by 4 Vils, and he's up a bit later, though. And he's going to have a lot of scouts to pump out to deal with this. Monk plus spear should be awkward for the scouts to deal with. Has it end early with an aggressive monk rush. Andy being aggressive with what is perhaps the better late game civ. Scout still coming around, spear going to poke it away, just run it away. The house going up. We'll see how long it takes for Andy to add in a workshop. A bit short on wood at the moment, but starting to amass monks and do sanctity. Spear just standing guard outside the gate. Almost like one of those campaign spearmen. Oh, same thing over here. Andy making sure nothing leaves without his knowledge. Spear on each of the gates. And now it's his turn to grab the relics. And when you're this far forward, you really do want to grab 5 relics with the aggressive monastery positioning. There'll be a forward workshop for Andy once that house is finished. He goes. Andy will try to chase Bloodless's scout away too. Bloodless with 4 scouts. But has to worry about the spears whenever he gets out. He'll get a monk and try to convert them. Hindustanis do not have atonement. So monk versus monk, he will be converted. Spear goes down and will have fervor on the way for Andy. It is the hunter-gather speed for foxes. Yeah, I mean, the default speed for foxes, yeah. Indeed. Yeah, they also probably just didn't want them shooting the foxes from far. Wanted them to walk up and grab them. But yes, indeed, it is the default super fast villager speed. Much faster than hunters of gathering from the foxes. Bases with fat behinds that go all the way to the edge. Now these monks want conversions. They do get 1 scout, and will force the other one away, and then heal each other up. So Ram and now a Mangonel with atonement on the way. This monk rush is going to be very hard to stop for Bloodless. He will attempt to go double stable light cav, but Andy has some spearmen out and could even consider the pikeman upgrade with how cheap that is these days. Loom on the way for Bloodless, and he's still holding as Andy's collecting the relics. He has 3, and likely with a 4th on the way, now has 4 relics for this push. No extra TCs for Bloodless. He simply is pumping out the light cav as quickly as he can. Double stables and bloodlines is an upgrade that will make him better at fighting the spears. We'll need the attack upgrades too. We're dealing with the spears. Even in awkward position, you don't have much room for sniping reinforcements, but that's what he will try to do. Grab a monk. Nice positioning there. And coming from the rear, the spears are not in position, and he will run away. And he will stop the conversion, bring the monks forward. Vil just survives. Another scout here for Bloodless needs to run and not get converted. Bloodless needs to get a good mass of scouts. 3rd monastery forward. Andy parading the relic. He's saying, look, Bloodless, I'm gonna get all 5 of the relics. I'll put it in your base even. I'll put it in your base. This is looking pretty over. This is looking like a successful monk rush to me. Oh, Vanilla Donut, the commands are down. You can view the Discord link by scrolling beneath the stream, though. Orange versus yellow. We'll just leave it, I think. Pick the colors and we'll leave it as the colors. I don't know if they're playing 1 versus 2 themselves. Scout takes out the monks. So, monks, a lot of them cleaned. Spear here doing some work for Bloodless. He takes out a Mangonel. And that was a pretty good fight for Bloodless. Actually, how many monks does Andy have now? 3. But he lost a lot of that momentum there. And he didn't even get the relic. He only has 4 relics now. He left one right on the doorstep of Bloodless's base. Bloodless still trapped. Oh no, Bloodless has some light cav in his wood line. That is painful. And now the player defending from the monk rush is actually down 43 to 26 vills, and there's the GG. He took so much eco damage there. Oh my gosh. Andy was gonna get a second TC, and the monk rush there was cleared, but still successful because the light cav got in. Oh no, that was painful. All right, so military 23 to 16 KD. Better eco for Andy. Bloodless had to turn to pumping out the light cav and defending. That requires a lot of farms and much more food. Also, look at that, 1337. What an elite castle age time from Andy. How did he lose so many vills? AI just converted your castle? That's a bug with AIs. They can convert castles. I think they also can convert from range. Maybe that was a previous patch. But yeah, AIs, they're buggy like that. That's a thanks AoE 2 moment. Thanks DE combination of those. That was Bohemians over Hindustani. Hindustani is the very first pick. Curious. And he's up 2 to 1. Can I show castle time again? It was 1337 for Andy. 1337. Just delete castle time possible. Alright, in the lobby again. What civs do we think we're gonna get? Portuguese and Teutons, and Malians for Bloodless, Britons, Koreans, Aztecs for Andy. Ooh. Britons should be good against Portuguese and against Teutons. Korean's the interesting one there. Go Portuguese. I think I like Andy's civs as counters to Bloodless's civs. Oh, here we are, directly into the next game. I guess they don't have a spec delay. I'll be a bit off guard. Hopefully we don't have any lag as we transition that time. Alright. So how are we doing on YouTube? Is everything not laggy there this time? Oh, Bloodless changed his color. He changed his color. We'll have Bloodless as the blue Malians. Against Andy as the orange Koreans. And what is Bloodless going to do as the Malians? Will this be Siege Tower Gebettos? He's in the blue right now, our Mets colors here. Reminding me of the horrible off-season. Ooh, the blue does look nice and stand out on the snow. That is a pretty good color. Fireland. Oh, that's true. Koreans have Fireland. They should die to Gebettos, right? Like, Firelancer Siege Tower should die to Gebetto Siege Tower, right? Am I thinking of that properly? We have some hares out here. Could see war wagons also from the Koreans. That's a play they can do. And I wonder if they'll funnel pretty close to the TC. You get your, when you do your houses, you do your house wall. Diagonally put them in the hares, finish up a bit of wall, and push them to the TC. That's true, they don't have an attack delay, and the Gebettos do. But the Gebettos do melee damage, so I think the Gebettos could ungarrison and then attack the siege tower itself and destroy the siege tower. And once the siege tower is down, then the Gebettos should win against the Fire Lancers. I think that's how the matchup should go. You focus on destroying the siege tower with the Gebettos. So looking at the relic positioning, this is one should be better for Bloodless, as should this one. This one is almost directly in the middle between them, but a bit closer to Andy's gate. This one's a bit closer to Andy, and this one's pretty equal on the side. So like a slight relic advantage for Bloodless. So we'll be chopping on that wood on the side. And long distance taking the hair is no funnel. No fun with funnels. Every time you think about infantry versus fire lancer, you think of Goth Huskarls. Okay. And also, my continued question is, how does the camera audio visual sync work? Is that all in sync? I hope that it is. I hope to see 5 games. I thought maybe it is about time for siege towers. Maybe. It'd be a wee bit overbuffed at this point, but it serves a unique purpose as a glass cannon. And Bloodless saying, "Oh look, my scout will be stuck in its running animation against that relic. Where is Nilly? He's celebrating his new year as my scout is stuck." What is that scout doing? It's completely... Can he move the scout, or is it just stuck there? What is Bloodless trying to do now? He's frozen, not even playing an idle animation. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Not stuck forever. That was weird. YouTube stream is perfect at the moment. Okay, good. Oh, it is getting kind of cold in here. I do have the, as normal, the heat off so the microphone doesn't pick it up. Doesn't mean it gets colder the more I stream. I'm relying on my PC to keep me warm. He's trying to get his horse to become holy by absorbing the relic's power. That could be a thing. Imagine if your monks could maybe do some type of weird shift delete and combine with the relic to make an ultra relic. Do some sacrifices. That could be an Aztec bonus. And then when you put the relic in your monastery, your eagle warriors gain HP from the monk upgrades. 1 HP per monk upgrade per relic. And maybe it's a temporary bonus where you have to keep sacrificing monks to keep getting to keep continually getting the bonus. Farms in Dark Age, it's arena. You almost always do farms in Dark Age. Especially with chickens. Everyone's going to be farming with chickens. Even with funnels, I think you want to farm with chickens. You'd only not do farms if you're going for a very quick monk rush or castle drop, or maybe Roman scorpion push, something of that nature, where you're skipping farms and using the market. Well, this is Scout still running about. Farm hero going up for Bloodless. Fast monk rushes. That's the best way to play arena, the monk rush. The old Eddie style. So again, Andy up first, and fast ups could mean aggression. Is he moving to stone? He is. So this could be war wagons. Or even some type of tower plus siege push, but here it looks like he wants to go war wagons. Do relics give bonuses in AoE 4? I have no idea. Did not play AoE 4 at all. We're gonna go with woodline. And ooh, scout fight, scout fight. Gate being held open. Who will win this? Andy will send a Vil over, the Vil will help. Bloodless has to run. And they'll fight on the outside. Who will win? Andy will win. Bloodless losing the poor scout. And that is great for Andy if he wants to go so aggressively forward. Bloodless on stone too. Warwagon versus Gebetto. I would think Warwagon wins that. But then again, the Malians do have better monks than the Koreans, and they can add in some monks behind this. Still long distance taking the Arctic Hares. Good position to take a hare and use the mining camp as a drop-off site. And Market Blacksmith here for Bloodless, so it does look like a Gebetto castle. And you know, ooh, now that I think about it, if it is Gebetto versus Warwagon, the Gebettos have one advantage, and that is the siege tower, and the siege tower should protect them from the war wagons. Being able to go siege tower, maybe some monks. Castle age timing, pretty similar. And a bit of idle time when you try to go up a Vil faster, so less efficient of an economy for him. Well, this will have a good Vil plus eco advantage then, behind by 5 seconds or so, no big deal there. He's more than happy with how that would play out if he could see the eco stats. 7 on stone for Andy. Remember, the Koreans do mine stone faster. That is plus 20% faster for them. And the scout for freaking Andy runs forward. I think bonuses should be micro intensive. I think having the right amount of micro for bonuses is important, but it also has to be the right style of micro that encourages AoE 2 moving of units and positioning of units in fights, and not spam clicking special abilities or relying on auras for charge attacks. Okay, Vils from Bloodless, they will come forward. Vils from Andy, they will come forward. Andy will scout this. Bloodless can kill the scout. There he goes. Who will get the castle up first? Does Bloodless see that? He does not. Bloodless doing Loom. Andy doing Loom. Walling in. 8 Vils versus 10. That could have been an awkward Vil fight. Monastery in the back for Bloodless. Andy will know this castle's coming up. He will know. But there's nothing he can do to stop it. Would be interesting if he had maybe tried a Korean guard tower, but against 10 Vils, I don't think one guard tower stops it. And he has so many Vils forward that he doesn't have enough Vils left to Vil fight. So, okay. Both castles going up. Both castles. And monks on the way out for Bloodless. Here's the castle, and war wagons under production for Andy. We'll have another castle coming up here for Bloodless. Mining camp going up on the stone as Bloodless look to push in. Look to push with Gebettos and maybe more forward castles. So, like ships in the night, 2 castles pass forward beyond each other. And I guess we're gonna need a quick defensive castle from Bloodless to be thrown up here. Andy will wall. But if he has to do a defensive castle, then he's not going to have a forward castle. And maybe he does want the forward castle. Here come the Gebettos. That's a lot of walling by the time the Gebettos get in, but he is committing a lot of villagers. That is 6 walling vills in total. I don't think the Gebettos had any more arrows. And behind this, we'll have a monk picking up relics. An awkwardly forward monastery against the war wagons who can camp underneath it. The monk will look for a conversion from behind. 2 monks, they're converting the same war wagon though. Okay, now they swap, This monk will go grab the relic. The conversion can maintain the charge. The war wagons hoover around. There's a weak vill there, but no ballistics yet for Andy, no fletching yet. And it will be a guard tower on the monastery. That is tricky. If 2 vills get converted there, they'll be forced away. 3 vills could be converted. That would have been crazy. Now the war wagons keep hoovering around. They'll have a couple of forward Gebettos. They are walled out fully. And Bloodless still heavily on stone. The question for him is, does the castle go at home or does it go forward? 1 war wagon converted. Might need to be at home to defend against the guard towers. Wait, where does it go? Does it defend the stone, the gold? War wagons could keep looping in over here, but maybe that could be walled. And there he has the stone for a castle. He's gonna put the castle under the tower. There are 2 vills in that tower, so it will do some damage. There are a couple of war wagons there. Maybe monks could stand within Myrtle's range of the tower? No, it's covered by the castle. That castle does need to go up then, and maybe it's petard time. Those vills low on HP. The monks fending the war wagons away. At the same time, the Gebettos get in. They get in. Where did they get in? They got in somewhere. What was the weak part of the wall? Was there a hole? Oh, there's a hole. There's a hole between the market and the blacksmith. Andy. Oh, this has happened to me before. He got jebaited by the blacksmith. The graphics overflow the boundary. Someone needs to mod that in to be clearer. And now Andy has to throw up a panic TC in the back so he has a spot to garrison vills. At the same time, the tower is up. Some more wagons are being converted from behind. And a couple of vills going down to the Gebettos, dodging the TC shots and getting another vill. Hole in the East Asian architectured blacksmith classic. And Andy suffers the consequences of that. He has 2 golds in the back too. Bloodless will get his second TC up. Well, so far so good for him. I think he's done more damage to Andy and also managed to grab a relic. Should be able to get a second relic. Question is now, is this imp or is this petards? With 2 TCs each, maybe it could be petards. Oh, the Gebettos, can they out-micro the war wagons? Ooh, Bloodless, who has to be careful of the TC. Weak war wagons there. 1 Gebetto left, and she will, with 3 HP, keep running around. Andy has not walled that up. He did bring his war wagons back, so maybe he knows about it. There's horse collar for Bloodless. Siege workshop for Andy. He could go for a ram push. Question is, do you push forward or backwards? Bloodless is still on stone. He's selling it though. He's selling it for gold. Wants the gold. Can wagons garrison in TCs? No, they cannot. No, they cannot. Hello, Tambao. How are you doing? Wagons can garrison back in castles, but not in TCs. Gebettos can garrison in TCs. And we're still missing the siege tower. And remember, Koreans do not have good monks. They do not have atonement. So Bloodless could himself do atonement and shut down the monk play. There are 3 relics though for Andy. He did have the monastery in a better position. 3-2 right now. And exactly that atonement on the way for Bloodless. Monks will charge their conversions on the vills. Don't know that they want to convert, though. Man, the vill counts are so low, maybe vill conversions even are valuable, but yeah, he's trying to use the charge for the war wagons. Swapping back to the vills. And he'll just take 2 conversions. Lose the monks, but trade him for vills. And let's see. No devotion. No devotion for either player yet. They're not devoted. War wagons come to pick off the monks. And Bergwin, hello. Hello, Bergwin. And looks like we're gonna have a castle being bought here. Bloodless needs to buy a round of stone. There he goes. And forward castle, but this could be a doubt castle, as here come the war wagons, and those vills say, no, we're not doing this. Rocket cart along the way, too. And that is not gonna be happening. And Bloodless now with that much stone being floated, I'm not actually sure how he manages his eco. He only has 3 farms, so he's probably not going to be imp anytime soon. And the castle has to be forward to be effective now. In some ways, those vills are pinning the war wagons forward. He's mined all the stones, so the vills don't even have anything else to do. He'll bring them back. He could do a castle here on his own stone. Or he could do workshops and monks and try to YOLO the castle forward still. But that'll be hard now with the rocket cards out and the ram push on the way. Well, with a couple more Gebettos could stop that. I might need some murder holes to stop it too. Atonement on the monks. That monk was gliding a bit, I think. Maybe I'm just looking at that weirdly. But there's the conversion. Remember, if a monk is trying to do a conversion, when it is converted, it will lose its monk juice. Redemption monks could be a play. TC here, or a castle here. It looks like he'll go down to the ram push. Gebetto's being forced away. Andy buying wood, and had enough war wagons that he was able to defend against the second castle drop. That castle goes up and things get tricky for him, but he's kept the vills working in the middle. And kept the war wagon numbers climbing up to 11 war wagons. Gebetto micro does take a long time. They have a long delay before they can throw that Gebetto, what is that? The Gebetto axe forward at the monks. And 1 HP is all you need, as that monk demonstrates redemption. For Bloodless, the last-ditch effort to make his monks more effective and convert the rocket carts. 5 monks coming forward. And you're never out of the game as long as you have monks. But this will be a push now on this castle. A castle that might need repairs and that might need maybe some murder holes still. I think murder holes for dealing with the war wagons against the ram push still would be key for him. Redemption on the way. Maybe he needs his own mangonel behind the castle, but war wagons even can deal with that slightly. Maybe he needs some repairs. Does get the extra TC up, and now he can think about adding more vills. He is up by 10 vills, but we'll need more farms to keep the vill production going. A weapon called the Kapinga. I thought they were named after the weapon, and the weapon was called the Gebetto. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Is it considered a knife instead of an axe then? Is there a classification system for which is which? Oh, thank you, Eric. Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, YouTube. Oh no, YouTube. Don't do this to me. Don't break again. Gold mining on the way for Andy. Let's keep mining over here. Bloodless does have to be careful of an overchop. Maybe I'm wrong about that since that monk seems to be healing them. Wagons are like cav archers in every way. No, they heal. War wagons heal. War wagons heal. Now here comes the ram push. That mangonel has to defend the castle. The monks need conversions on the war wagons to defend the mangonel. Those vills need to repair the mangonel and have the monks get their conversions. We have 4 converted war wagons. Monks healing each other a bit. These war wagons are not all underneath the castle. At any point, if Gebettos pop out, they can do melee damage to the rams. 1 ram goes down, and that will slow down the destruction of the castle. There we are. Looks like YouTube's okay again. And we have the castle taking out some of the war wagons. Rams still ramming the castle. Vills want to repair. Gebetto's on the way still. Monk's getting more conversions. Ooh, this might be... Is this a throw from Andy if he loses this push? I think Bloodless needs to rush the castle with Vills and repair it now. And he keeps the castle up. What are those Vills doing? He needs some repairs. Will the castle go down? This is maybe a loss for Bloodless if the castle goes down. Down it goes. But Andy lost a lot in that push, and Bloodless now has a huge lead. Ooh, 5 war wagons left. Bloodless doesn't have any more monks. Bloodless doesn't have anything. Oh, those farmers are in the middle of nowhere. And, oh gosh, that lagged for a second. I was scared. I have to run to the TC. And, oh, Ballistics is in. Bloodless now could do another castle. That's maybe why he didn't repair. I think the castle needed to be here, though. I don't know, Bloodless still up by 14 bills. I think he's still in this game. With war wagons of his own and more monks, he might be okay still. This castle will be pushed, but 2 rams, kind of low on HP. Vills might even be able to fight that now. I think Bloodless just sacrifices Vills for conversions. There are 2 TCs to 3, 3 relics to 2. Happy New Year, Arbase. Hello, Arbase. And the castle goes up. Hey, Arbase, do you know if T90 will be back from his winter vacation to look at TTL maps? I need to finish that. assume in another 2 days or so. Ram's going down. YouTube, stop lagging, please. Optimum ISP, what are you doing? Do that today? Perfect. Oh, he was just live. All right. Did he stream? Must have been a short stream then. He wasn't live when I went online. But now in the DMs. Perfect. Andy continuing the push. He will now get 5 relics. Anything special with this map? Not in particular that I've noticed. I think it's a standard arena. Standard 3-ville start arena. Monks want more conversions, but not enough monks yet. The war wagons are too numerous. More conversions keep coming in, but Bloodless has not been able to get quite enough monks at any one point. This was a really close game, though, with that push. If Bloodless had maybe 3 more monks or a bit more repairers and the castle stands, then he's still okay. Is husbandry in? No husbandry yet. A lot of dead vills, and that has closed the vill gap right up, now 64 to 58. Remember when that was a 14 vill lead? I'm sure Bloodless remembers. I'm sure he misses those days. Scale mail armor on the way. He wants more Gebettos. That's not going to help against the war wagons at this point, I don't think. They can tank the TC fire as the rams come in. I do miss the days when the rams with the vills, but in the process, lose some vills. 15 vills in the TC, that's all he can store. Koreans, do they not have heresy? They do not. Their siege onagers late game are vulnerable to conversion. And when I say they're siege onagers, I mean they're heavy rocket carts now. More conversions, how many are we gonna have? 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions? 4 conversions, but I don't think that's enough. Maybe more. Bloodless now is getting the monks, and now the clown has monks, but he also is lacking in vills. And I don't think, he has war wagons of his own now. He's got 6 war wagons. Is either of them devoted? Need some devotion. No devotion for Bloodless. Devotion is in for Andy. Does Bloodless have enough war wagons to make this work now? Got 6 of them. Oh, he lost the TC though. He's gonna lose the market. Losing the market in these pushes always hurts. He's floating tons of resources, but he can't spend them. Ooh, I think Andy has this now. I think Andy has this. Feel like conks. Not quite the same. They are very good. And the guard tower key for the Korean push because it helps deal with the monks. There'll be another castle from Bloodless who still is holding on. Still is holding on. Isn't that far away from clicking up to Imp. He honestly, if he still had a market, he could sell wood and go up. With all the gold he's mining, he'll be up soon, but won't have much gold access left. How much is left in his base? Tiles. Yeah, I selected some outside gold. I did. That's 3k gold, just under. Free armor, not to mention the discount. They used to cost 120 wood. It was moved down to 92, but then moved back up at some point. I think it's 100 now. Might be wrong about that. Maybe it's 105. Which would be the appropriate number for Andy to type into the game, but it is Imp. It is Imp. And the Vil count swapped, but now we have Imp for Bloodless. Danger, though, is 5 relics for Andy, but 5 relics in that forward monastery. And we now have 9 war wagons for Bloodless. Bloodless playing with monks. Down by 2k score. And when he gets Imp, what does the Malian Imp tech tree look like for the monastery? No illumination, but importantly, they have block printing. Block printing and theocracy. I think he even do fervor on the way up. Needs some ballistics of his own for his war wagons. And 9 war wagons pop out of a Malian castle. Huge lag on the Twitch stream? Interesting. Slideshow. My stats. Interesting. 'Cause I'm not getting any dropped frames. Looks like it's render lag. Interesting. No, this isn't the router. This is render lag. This might be the audio system, maybe. ASIO taking too much priority from the rendering. Interesting. I'll need to experiment with that because that is not render lag. That is CPU lag. Seems fine now. Okay, I'll need to play around with that then. Many noises. Too much microphone. Why do we still have 0 mangonels? He had a workshop earlier and he had a mangonel, but it got destroyed. Ram push. Monks. I'll have to get Trebs popping as soon as he's up. But indeed, the Rams are tricky to deal with. Getting conversions on the wagons. Ram goes for the castle. Wagons start going down. As soon as the fighting starts. Interesting. Because I'm not getting any lag here. Wonder if it's a render issue. As soon as the monks start singing, the stream stops. Interesting. I'm going to turn the audio off. Let's see if that affects it. I am getting render lag. Interesting. Let me try turning audio off then. I'm just gonna turn audio off and see if that fixes it for anything. Let me know if that fixes the lag. 480p removes it. Oh boy. Interestingly, the audio is fine. Interesting. Okay, that was using the application audio capture instead of my desktop sound. Maybe there are still issues with that. I know I had issues with that in Capture Age before. I might just need to stick to desktop audio, which is no problem, but I prefer not to have to do that. Immediate fix, smooth now. Okay. Application. I'm going to turn DE audio on. First, see if that's Hello World Builder. All right, hold on. Let me turn some audio back then. Desktop audio on. 5 decibels. And is it still okay now? If it's still okay, then we could have solved the issue. As I said, this was going to be a debugging stream right from the start. And we've debugged some stuff. So let's see if this stays smooth. And if YouTube is still having errors. But there we go. Well, this will call the GG. Too much silence, you hear your own thoughts. In fact, if I click audio, do you get audio now? You should get some audio. GG. Alright, let's see if YouTube fixes it. It's fixed there. I still have 0 dropped frames on Twitch, and I've never had lag issues like that before, so it must be the audio capture. I should be doing the sound effects. Monks going woo, 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 and then as the war wagons kill them. Nice game, swapping the castle positioning. Pew pew. So the war wagons say. Widget. See if maybe things have stabilized on YouTube. Sorry about that. We'll see if this fixes stuff. Thanks for organizing and casting. I think we can cast maybe one more game. I think we can cast another game just to keep testing. That's the plan. We want to keep testing. Okay, did that scene transition lag? This was the finals. Yes, this was the finals. The ASIO drivers, but maybe they're causing lag issues. Maybe I need to increase the buffer size of audio. Alright, with that, let's just update the scoreboard and give Andy a win. Driver conflict. And I did update to Windows 11. Had tons of driver issues. A few audio drivers butting in there. And it would make sense the YouTube stream is more effective because that is rendered on the GPU. Twitch is rendered still on the CPU. And it looks like it's okay now. Haven't fixed it. I think it takes a while to catch up though on YouTube. That's what I've seen so far. Interesting. This is why we test. Alright, so I'm just going to cast a ranked game and see if this change affect anything. Looks like Hera is playing. Cast a Hera game. I just got into her game against Lucho. Perfect. Is T90 really checking the maps now, Arbase? Because I see he's playing Arabia. Okay, the Christmas logo for here. There we are. Don't need a scoreboard. There we go. EGG. Let's just see if swapping audio around fixes stuff. Be working again. And looks like one of those 4 Woodline Arabias again. This is an Arabia on the ranked ladder. Ooh, look at this amazing map for Hera. He'll be playing as the red Japanese with a safe back gold. Wall here, and go to the TC and you're safe, or be a bit more greedy. Go around the front and around the side, and he's even more safe. Either way, the gold is safe, and if those Japanese men-at-arms will probably take the berries anyway. Origins for Lucho. He'll be playing with that free mule cart, bringing his sheep in. Wonder if we'll see any laming, just some gazelle pushing for now. Hera finding a lion. His gazelles will be behind a woodline a bit. His far patch behind a cliff, so maybe a bit awkward for him. Gazelles being now pushed in Hera. It's fine now? Alright, good. Maybe just the audio thing will fix it. We'll see how it goes. Gazelles being pushed. I'll keep an eye on it. Worst comes to worst, I can always stream just to YouTube instead of, just to Twitch instead of Twitch and YouTube. I'd prefer to have full stream. Really needed an IT expert to help me with the setup. Still getting pushed. In here by the scout cav. And taken under the TC. Nicely done. Keeps flying around. Lots of vultures flying around. What is WR? WR is Wonders, the clan mostly of Argentinian players. Lucho, Prisma, Nikov. I think FedEx is in there now. Not Kapach. Kapach is on Onamaru, but most of the Argentinian players. The mic is skipping a beat here and there. That could be many things. That could just be me having the noise gate set too high. Could adjust that slightly. Gosh, why is this window so weird? Okay, let me just lower the noise gate a tiny bit. should still filter out the clicks. So if it goes cutting out, I'll adjust the noise gate. That's the first thing to try. I'll just lower the noise gate. And let me know if you hear clicks now. The barracks out here for Hera will be forward. Forward barracks for Lucho 2. Interestingly enough, neither player going aggressively for men-at-arms, and Hera will be going for the more forward, more greedy set of walls. Going in front of the berries fully. And that house is not part of a wall. You need to be a couple tiles forward. And could have got around, but all the same, he's probably fine. We'll have a wall in front of the stone too. And there he goes onto the berry. So if he's not going men-at-arms, what will he be doing as the Japanese? He could be playing very defensively now. Just spear defense. Anticipating scouts from the Georgian. Here you'll see the stable. And be up maybe a bit slower here, as you already have the fast up time from Lucho. Are they separated by nationality? A lot of them are. Like Finland and LY. And the Argentinians tend to play together. Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Monosper, for the sub. Thank you. Appreciate the support. I'm going to be doing a lot of casting this month for Red Bull, so keep an eye on the stream and see if there are any issues. And as much feedback as you can give is helpful today, because as I said, the past few days I've been making a ton of changes to stream audio, so I'm sure there are going to be a bit of a rough patch as I figure stuff out. The Devin Willie, what is his entrance song? Has he announced what he's going to use for the Mets? What did he use for the Yankees? Okay, Scouts. Ooh, Scouts finding the Walling Vill. Hera might lose a Vill here. He will get a poke. We'll get 2 pokes, gets the Vill. Loses the Vill. Does he have one? I mean, I'm sure every closer has to have an entrance, right? Can't have a closer without an entrance song. Is the Red Bull ladder opening soon? Opening tomorrow. Opening tomorrow. And I will be doing a ton of casting of that ladder. My plan is probably just to see when everyone else casts, and I'll probably be casting... Last time I was casting in the evening, like 5 p.m. plus my time, and that everyone else goes offline around then, and I keep casting, so that's what I will probably do this time. We'll see, though. We'll see how it goes. For London Empire Wars. Yes! Unfortunately, Empire Wars, but we'll deal with that. So Lutro's the Georgian still going scouts, and Hera is not invested into any military building other than a barracks. And you may try to go up very quickly into... I don't even know, is the Japanese against the Georgians? Georgians should have the better late game eco, but I think Japanese cav archers will be very scary. And there's a range, so maybe it will be cav archers. Maybe it'll just be skirms. We all know how good skirms are. And TTL also beginning. And even in the middle of the Red Bull ladder, there'll be TTL. TTL Silver. And I'll probably be casting a good bit of that, too, because I want to see the maps I made. And edited. I need to see. I'll need to get some feedback and tweak them, probably. For Gold and Platinum start. T90 now is playing ranked games instead of checking out the maps. That'll be the plan. I'll get one more round of feedback from T90, make any more changes tonight, and then have each of the admins go through generations. We'll split the maps up in thirds. Yeah, and because TTL starts during the ladder, that does not mean players start playing. It means scheduling starts. We all know players don't schedule right away, unless they're Jordan. So Scout's trying to break through. Yeah, and Red Bull ends the 18th, I believe. Trying to break through, so we'll have a wall coming up. And we'll have Castle Age on the way for Lucho. does feel that there is less varied gameplay these days at the top level. I think that's in part because of how DE's Arabia map is so consistent in that the resources are always close to the TC, and the wood lines are very close and very easy to wall. And also the hills are not as close to the TC or as punishing as they were on AOC Arabia. I think the KOTD map had significantly more viable strategies and much more varied gameplay than this latter one. And all the pros have been complaining about Ladder Arabia for ever since they started playing the KOTD one. Everyone start from a clean elo. Yep, everyone starts from a clean elo on the Red Bull ladder. Let's hope the maps work for all 199 TTL sets. Let's hope we don't have a single admin rig or a single broken map. That's the goal. I've definitely fixed a lot of bugs so far, and hopefully we get to that point. There is gold mining and Castle Age on the way for Hera. There's gold? No, only silver overlaps, not gold. How many deer? There were 4 deer and then an extra patch of 3. So Hera pushed in, or took 2 of his. There's 5 left over. There's Castle Age for Lucho. 17-ish minute Castle Age. Very clean build with scouts and goes immediately into skirms. Hera double triple range, and we'll be going triple range cav archers. And now it's interesting how he plans to go cav archers as he's adding the stable behind this. That's a lot of wood to go for stable 3 ranges and still university ballistics and cav archers. And even a second mining camp, so he's going to go 1 TC all in military. And that's against Lucho, who already doing skirmishers has the counter unit. And we'll be doing the TC on the forward gold. So one additional TC, 2 range skirms from Lucho. Bloodlines on the way for Hera. He'll also want husbandry. And more wood being spent on farms. That is awkward because he has empty farms. He'll want to drop that off and use the empty farms instead of adding more. Needs that wood. And now you're at the awkward spot where you need so many resources. If you add in farms for more food, you're competing with your ballistics. And that's a mistake you can always make, adding in so many farms that you can't afford ballistics, even if you're staying on 1 TC. And now it's time for the cav archers to come out, but Elite Skirm Bodkin on the way for Lucho. Already has Feudal Age armor on the skirms too. We love skirms indeed. Bodkin arrow for Hera. And Elite Skirm for Lucho.
Get pillars.
A sip of water. Did Lucho scout the ranges? He scouted one of them. But against the Japanese, he will, even with seeing 1 range, assume it's cav archers. 2 vills on the workshop. As the skirms come over to try to defend, cav archers turn to hit the skirms. Now try to hit the vills. The workshop on 85%. Delaying the workshop will be nice, 98%. But he dove and lost quite a few cav archers doing that. Skirms getting some hits as they try to get back to the TC. Hera with 3 range cav archers has enough to deal with the skirms. Skirms only 1 armor instead of +2. And Hera will be doing his workshop forward. He says, 98%, you're not getting that up with my cav archers here. I will come forward too. Where are the vills? Only 1 single vill forward, that's all he needs. Lucho needed that workshop. And thought maybe with the skirm versus CA play, he'd be able to get it forward, but no, not enough skirms for that. Maybe if he had the armor, it'd be a different story, but these cav archers have ballistics. If you're against skirms, since they have so much bonus damage, you are maybe prioritizing other upgrades other than armor, if you're Hera. And it worked out for him, had the numbers. Had the numbers indeed to go forward. And that workshop denied. Well, perfect read from Hera. And oh, the spear, 2 lions. 2 lions going for him. The monks out there grabbing a relic. Go, Lions, go. I know there's a fight going on, but go, Lions. Go, Lions.
Get yours.
Skirms come over. Oh, they picked the spear. They didn't let the lion get the kill. The lion will go after the skirms now. If it gets close. Maybe it'll go after the cav archers. They're just sitting there menacingly. Yeah, the Japanese bonus doesn't apply to skirms. I'm saying that the skirms don't need, or that the cav archers don't need armor because the skirms do most of their bonus with bonus attack, or most of their attack with bonus attack. I'm not mentioning the skirms being attacked. Unfortunately, Empire Wars. Oh, I hate Empire Wars so much. We're gonna see so many Saracens mirrors, so many Byzantine mirrors. So many Fire Lancers. Maybe Catan mirrors now. Do Catans start with farms in Empire Wars, or do they start with pastures? Actually, maybe we won't see Catan mirrors if they don't start with pastures. I got some skirms. Did it feel like the game was maybe speeding up slightly at some points? Like falling behind and speeding up? Well, Huns start without houses now in Empire Wars. That's a special Empire Wars thing. It's a special case for the Huns. Or at least it is that in the maps that should be included. That was a patch a while ago. Yeah, and unfortunately, they didn't listen to me when I said it needed to be more generic and not hard-coded to the Huns so we could use it on Nineville starts too and not just Empire Wars, but alas. Alas, we don't have that option. You get 2 knights? Well, you can't really clear the skirms with only knights without armor. You need to invest to armor too. Which, I mean, it's not that big of an investment if you want to do 1 armor. He already has bloodlines from the cav archers. You do always want armor. At least 1 on knights before hitting elite skirm. Mangonel for Lucho. There's 1 way back into the game. It's good Mangonel micro, and he clears 1 Mangonel. Doesn't take a hit. It's an uphill battle for him against the rest of the Mangonels. They do have a couple of small hills they can camp on. And he's being extra careful not to tank Mangonel shots. Same as Hera with the cav archers. Lazy programmers win again. Okay, Mangonels trade shots. Mangonels go down. Ooh, that Mangonel goes down. Cav archers getting hit by the Mangonel. Takes out the Mangonel there. Cav archers will clear it though, and Hera still with 2 Mangonels left. Will continue pushing. 2nd TC for Hera, 3rd TC for Lucho. So Lucho actually ahead by 25 Vils, but Hera looking for the castle drop. And he will have 10 Vils forward to build the castle. Mangonel could stop that maybe. What type of Mangonel shot will it get? That Mangonel has to turn and run. Mangonel going down. And, ooh, doesn't get killed there. And we'll get another Mangonel. And with that Mangonel, maybe Lucho could deny the castle. Maybe he can deny the castle. He needs repairs. But Hera has to get back. The other Mangonel's not in position now. Still has a Mangonel on the way. That's that 10 Vils. Hera definitely gets this castle, right? There's no way this gets denied. He's got 3 Mangonels to 1. 2nd Mangonel on the way. Lucho is not going to get a hit there. Desperately repairs, but loses the Mangonel. And no, okay, gets a clear. Needed that Mangonel alive, though. The Vils have enough HP, the castle will go up. And he loses the Mangonel, turns back into the shot. Wanting to deny the castle, and that at 90% will go up. But Lucho himself's up to Imp, and what is his stone situation? That one's kind of forward, could be pressured by Mangonels. Another stone in the side. That could be a fortified church defending that stone, maybe, but right now he doesn't even have the army to get the church up, as Hera still hoovers around with the cav archers. Sacrifice your CA to get that one mango. Hera does need to keep the army alive. He's down by 30 vills, and it will be much harder for him to replace his military. Lucho still doesn't have that workshop, that poor workshop. Alright, let's just see. Okay, no speed change there. I'm going to leave this at full speed because I want to notice if there are any speed ups. Slowdowns or anything. A TC going up here for Hera. This ain't the Clown Finals. The Clown Finals finished already, Rob Cheng. We're just casting one ranked game because I'm debugging some stream issues. Oh, there's a YouTube issue again. Getting choppy. Okay. Twitch is still fine. Let me check my stats. Stats and see if I'm dropping frames again. I need like a current rendering lag. Okay, interesting. I need to keep experimenting. So I've never had rendering issues like this before. It makes me think there's some audio driver issue. Another castle going forward for Lucho. And that'll be his Treb castle for trebbing the castle here. Who won? That was an Andy victory. 3-1 over Bloodless. A bit of lag now. Okay. Okay, yeah, I do see the FPS count dropping a bit. This is so weird. Why is this dock not resizable properly? OBS not putting docks where I want them. Just load that. Mangonel's hitting skirms as the skirms try to split. Mangonel comes forward, hits the other Mangonel, takes it out. This Mangonel going down. And splashed there. Oh, now things look okay. Right. That was weird. There's a brief speed up in capture age. Now it's fine. Buildings look bigger? What? Maybe I'm just zoomed in more? Anyway, Lucho up to imp. He's got trebs. I'll be adding a TC on the other side. Oh, you know what? This could also be... I'm using a... upscaling to 4K, and I'm using a different upscaling, which the description said it was more efficient. Maybe it actually is just taxing the GPU more. Because for me, the upscaling actually looks much better than it used to. Or maybe that's just taxing the GPU. Maybe I actually do need to bite the bullet and go for an actual 4K monitor. Yeah, you can never tell for sure, right? You can never tell for sure because it is Hera. It felt like he was winning there for a while with all that pressure getting the forward castle, but Lucho did a great job of booming behind it. An almost Hera-like defense of where you feel that he's behind but actually ahead because he's super far ahead in eco. And now Hera with the Cav Archers trying to dance against the skirms, not quite working out. Suddenly started getting audio glitches. What did the audio glitches sound like, 11? Looks like I just rendered some. Okay. Whenever I speak. Let me try to fix that. I'll increase the buffer size and see if that helped. Let me know if that helps at all. Yeah, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Might not, and it might desync the webcam. I did promise on this audio debugging content. I did for sure. If you remove the names, you'd think Hera is the blue player, because Hera always plays in the blue. A lot of players trying to play like Hera. Is the audio content any different now? Did that change at all? The static issue fixed. Better already? Okay, good. We have the same voice. Interesting.
Get you lost.
So Trebs for Lucho, Hera pushing back with some knights. Hera's still stuck in the castle age. Chemistry on the way for Lucho, trying to finish his imp upgrades for the cav archers, for which he already has bracer. And you get enough bracer cav archers, and castle age knights can't fight them. Only 4 armor against 10 attack. That's 6 damage per arrow. And even now your imp skirms with bracer and chemistry are threatening to the knights. Or not your imp skirms so much as your Imperial aged upgraded skirms. Still elite. Hey, interesting. OBS still telling me frames missed due to rendering lag. So that needs to be investigated, because that is something that absolutely should not be happening. It's a little better. Now it occasionally returns for a split second really hard and vanishes again. Okay. No, let me just double check there's no other device using my microphone. No, there's not. Just OBS. This Hussar plate barding and masonry. Trebs go for the castle. Hussar on the way. Lucho should be able to keep pushing and now use that great late game Jordan's eco with the farming around the fortified churches. More stables forward. As the hills come over, follow that mule cart to the side. And try to take down that castle. There's the GG from Hera. And Lucho will do it. The audio might be giving out, but Lucho does it. That's 103 to 70 KD. Better eco for Lucho. Technology, faster castle time. And GG, we're lagging again. All right. Hello again, Tambao. So let me just see if I can... there we go. This overlay. Maybe the scoreboard, we can get the camera back. I'm going to swap scenes, and I want y'all to just tell me if you see lag while I swap scenes again. Lucho might be the first to beat Hera. Hera's been streaming for a bit though, so maybe not. And do we get lag as we... There's a bit of lag as we swap the scenes, isn't there? That is weird. Like, I can see that in OBS too. It doesn't feel like it's a smooth fade. Microphone static, okay. Yeah, I can see that in OBS. Oh yeah, it's definitely lagging in OBS too. So that is GPU issues, or render issues. And it has to be audio drivers interfering with the rendering then. So, more for me to debug, yay. Well, we'll do that another time, as we'll end the stream here. So thanks for sticking around, putting up some debugging. We'll be back for the Red Bull ladder tomorrow. I might just stream on Twitch if I don't quite have a debugging figured out. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.